Hey, welcome to the Razzle Dazzle Show, a podcast where we talk about our favorite video games and all things pop culture with an emphasis on our favorites. We're your hosts Jared and Chaz.
Hello, welcome. I am one of the great members of the Weeb Nation, and I hope you guys enjoy your time here.
And today we're slicing into Kill la Kill, the 2013 anime from Studio Trigger that threw rulebooks and a lot of clothes out the window. This high-energy series follows Ryuko Matoi as she battles a brutal student council with the help of a talking sailor uniform, unraveling a wild conspiracy where clothing equals control. Please let us know what you think about this episode somewhere on the internet, and be sure to follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Links to them are down below. And with all that being said, it's Razzle Dazzle time.
You want to start at the beginning? You want to start at the beginning? You want to talk about how people are immortal because they're made of clothes? Or how clothes are made of people? Or
clothes aren't made of people. The clothes feed... the people feed the clothes.
I don't...
Yeah?
Technically they were feeding off what? Our energy? So we died?
Yeah.
But...
We're their source of food.
But we need energy to live, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about the time skip of, like, you know, people being in clothes for a month and living?
Well, it's just like cattle, man. You know, like cows need to eat. And like when they're plump enough, we kill them and then we eat them.
Wait, hold on. Cows need food to eat before we need to eat them, right?
Yes.
But if I put a cow in a secluded area with no food and water for a month, is the cow going to live?
No.
So when the clothes took over people for a month, it did not give them back.
Well, they were still like, it didn't take over everybody, right? It only...
yeah, but the ones that were in there,
you're right.
Came back out alive.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Listen, man. I don't got anything for that. Anime, dude.
For plot convenience?
Yes. We are talking about Kill la Kill. I've been eyeing this anime for the longest time, not knowing at all what I was gonna get into. And man, after watching it, I still don't like fully understand what the hell I watched. It's weird, man. I will say, like, just right off the bat, I like the show, and we're gonna have to talk about the elephant in the room eventually. But
I don't see the elephant. I must be blind.
You're choosing not to see. Good for you, man. Like,
I know.
Look past the fan service.
That way it stays that way.
Look past the fan service and all the skimpiness and all the grody-ness, I guess, of of the show. And if you look past all that, you get like an actually cool premise of a show, and like the themes are really cool. Fascism, fashion, you know, it's very interesting. And I'm really glad, like, I finally got to watch it. The main reason why I wanted to watch is because it's by Studio Trigger, and Studio Trigger it's a freaking beast in everything they do. And man, this show looks phenomenal, like, as it should. I love the lighting. Like, I love how they do colors, and I just love how each of the characters looks. I love how things were shot and framed, you know, and it's everything's great about it, I think. In terms of like how it looks visually, the humor is hilarious. Like the writing, I love when things break the fourth wall, and this happens quite a few times in the show. So yeah, but I'm rambling. Chaz, where do you want to start?
My favorite thing about the show is that even though it's fan service, you kind of like forget that it's there when you get like dragged into the plot.
Yes,
that's what I liked about it. And then the fan service wasn't really like there to be like, hey, look at this.
Yeah. Hey, look, titties.
Yeah, this is happening, but like it's not like put it in their own dynamic.
Yeah. I think the fan service is more used as comedic in a comedic way than it is like titties, you know, like it's not, this isn't High School DxD, right? This is not any of those like ecchi, this is not an ecchi, you know, this is a shonen. And the way they used fan service is to also implement kind of the messages, what's his name, Kazuki Nakashima wanted to convey, you know, because like it's the whole scene where like Satsuki was telling Ryuko, you can't unleash the full power of your kamui if you're just like embarrassed and you're not like, you know, embracing the clothes, I guess, or whatever, you know, like if you don't embrace
if
fully
you're being
what
shy
you're doing
about it, you will never get to use the full potential of your kamui.
exactly. And you know, she gave that whole monologue of like, if I have to be fully naked and show my tits, so be it, if to be this powerful, you know, like I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Clearly you are not at this moment. So yeah, it's weird, man. It's a weird show, but I liked it a lot.
My favorite thing in the show would have to be the best friend, Mako.
Yeah.
She's the pure comedy to me because she took everything so unseriously, but she got the job done when she was needed to.
Yeah.
That's it. So she would be my favorite character out of everybody. This is one of my beginning animes, one of the ones I watched when I first like got into watching anime.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, like it's been, I want to say about 7-8 years since I've seen it.
Mhm.
So it was like rewatching it again for the first time, and I really enjoyed that feeling because I don't get that from most modern animes I watch now.
So how did you get started watching the show? Did you tell us in the group chat that this was like a starter anime for you?
Yes, it was starting anime. I can't describe it to you. Let's say I was watching a Kami Got Kill, and then under it was Kill.
I want to watch that
I was
too.
like, why not? Kami Got Kill? That's a conversation for another day.
Yep.
I don't think you'd be ready to have that conversation right now.
When I was watching Kill la Kill, the thing that like was right under it for suggestions was a Kami Got Kill. So I'm gonna watch it eventually.
I say, please let me know if you want. We can also talk about that later.
Sneak peek. All right, continue.
But I did like the aspect of the whole clothes and life fibers being aliens. Because it's not like even though we have anime that is like of a wide range, you rarely see animes that say aliens are trying to take over the world type of thing.
I wouldn't say
I
rarely.
haven't seen a lot of that. I can think of very few that does that.
Right.
Like some animes will have aliens, but it won't be like the aliens trying to take over the world type of thing.
Gotcha. I think you're right. If we're gonna specify animes that have that same type of concept, I think you're right. I'm just thinking of like media in
pop
general.
culture in
Yeah. Because when
that's going to be a common thing, but it's just you don't see that in anime aspects.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I see the life fibers and the clothes and all that stuff like symbiotes, like Venom.
Parasites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to that episode when it was revealed like they're aliens from space and whatever, I'm like, oh, so they're like Venom. Okay, got you. Because they wear you. It's not a symbiotic relationship, it's a parasitic relationship, but like, you know, the concept's there.
I like the way I was also distracted 90% of the time on like once they start putting clues together on how everything makes sense. I like that, but I was so in tune to like the Goku uniforms and how many stars and like why did Sin Kids like not have any stars type of thing when I first watched the show.
That's a good point. Like, so at first I was thinking like this show is gonna be exactly that, like raising up the ranks or something, you know. Just and it kind of was that like the first half of like, you know, she has a special outfit and she's got to be like all the rest and then get to the final boss that is Satsuki, and her thing is special, doesn't have any stars but still has powers. Okay, great. Okay, maybe this is gonna be like a good hero's journey thing to find out who murdered her father. Pretty simple. That's what I thought at first, you know. But when we got to the point of like after the whole like the raid episodes and stuff and the elections and all that stuff, like when Ryu was introduced, then that twist really was an actual twist, not in the sense of like I haven't seen this type of storytelling before, like these type of story beats happen before. I have, but I wasn't like expecting these things to happen in this particular show because of how it was set up.
You're right. The raid was the turning point that we were all not like ready for, and the amount of information they drop you like during the raid was insane. And I really liked the backstory of the dad on how he went through all of that just to go against his wife. He found out that was like, how to describe, she became one with the life fibers.
Yeah.
Which I don't fully understand how human was able to like fully go over.
Yeah.
They didn't really describe that too well. We just knew that she was the villain.
Yeah.
Agreed to work with the life fibers, became a life fiber herself.
Yeah. So I don't anime.
I don't know, think about it. Right? Wouldn't it have been better if she would have just built a cult of people who wanted to be one with the life fibers and they all would have been that strong?
Yeah, but like there's the explanation of like not everybody can do that, you know. She does have a cult.
People would die, right?
Yeah.
But if you can make at least an army of, 4. That would have literally been enough. If she was like one alone strong enough to do that, if she would have just, it's not like she cared about the human race anyways.
Yeah.
So she could have just got 4 more people and then, or my bad, 3 more people. And that would have been more than enough to beat the entire school.
Yeah, but like, you have to go through the testing, you'll probably have to go through a lot of humans to find those people, and the whole thing of like she doesn't want to kill people is because they're the food for the life fibers, so she's trying to protect the cattle.
All protected. Oh yeah, I did forget about that aspect that they have to be fed later, so she kills off half of humanity to make 4 people.
By the way, spoilers for Kill la Kill, I guess. Who cares? Like we're gonna talk about it.
Oh well, yeah. If you clicked on this podcast, you gotta expect spoilers. There's no way to talk about this show.
It's a 10-year-old show.
Another spoil for you guys, if anybody likes watching the view of somebody getting the ultimate wedgie, brace yourself for that. I wasn't ready.
Oh my
God. When I first watched the show, the wedgie they get from the kamuis was disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah. When so this is a magical girl shonen show, right? I was expecting the standard magical girl transformation sequences, but I wasn't expecting it to the degree that was shown. So like, I'm just going to address it. The show is hyper sexualized in terms of character designs and of course their costumes, and it's not sexualized for the sake of like porn. It's just like fascism, I guess. I don't think I'm the right person to like fully describe and like break down the nuances of like why, but I'm just trying to say like this is what it is. Like
it wasn't there like to get people aroused. It was just like, hey, nice costume, and nice 2% costume.
Yeah.
You cover the shoulders, you cover the thighs, and then everything else has threads on it, basically.
Yeah. A lot of people could easily look at this show at first glance and be like, oh, okay, it's just not hentai, but like it's basically like on that margin, but it's not, there's a real interesting and deep story going on and there's quite a few plot twists within the show that makes the show have a lot of depth,
And then we find out about the kamuis, since they're 100% life fibers.
Yeah.
That they can't have too much contact with the human skin, because if they do, the exposure can kill the human, while the kamuis turned into like
bikinis,
yeah.
There's the in-world explanation, like, okay, all right, whatever.
So but they're not being whored out just to be whored out. That's the best way of survival for them to wear such powerful uniforms.
Yeah.
Like, forget the Goku uniforms. We're not going to talk about that and how they kept up with kamuis.
But my first impressions, like when I was watching episode 1, I was like, man, this looks good. But Trigger does an amazing job with all of their animes and all the projects that they worked on. And they tricked me because I thought, just based on the art style and how it looked, this was like a 90s anime, because it looks like a 90s anime. But no, to my surprise, this thing came out in 2013. This is a 2010s anime, and they still capture the essence of what a 90s shonen anime is or was, and still like have like their own modern twist to it, because like I said earlier, the lighting, the colors are striking, and I love how certain camera shots like move and stuff, and the fluidity within the animations of each character and the fighting. Phenomenal.
I gotta thank the camera guy for that. The camera guy's the fastest one. He kept up with everybody. Give it to him.
Yeah, man. So let's let's talk about that. What do you have to say about the style?
I actually really like the art style a lot. It wasn't like too detailed, which is not something you needed for this anime. You didn't need like the 1080 quality. You don't need that to watch the anime. So even if you like watch it on let's say you don't have great connection, so it's a little blurry, you still get the full justice of the anime. The fighting combat art style, it was very colorful, as you said. So if you blinked, you could miss like a couple strikes or two.
Yeah.
Especially if you're new to anime, a lot happens in like 2 seconds. Like I would like be studying for like the stuff I have to do, and I look down and I look back up and like a whole thing happened, and all I know is like somebody's missing 2 arms.
Yeah.
And I have to go back and be like, wait, when did this happen? I click like 5 seconds back, and there's like a whole thing that happened within 5 seconds. So I really like that I had to stay tuned to watch it, and the combat was like good enough for me to like want to go back and actually see what happened, and not be like, oh, somebody just lost an arm, okay, and go back to whatever I was doing. I do love that when they make armies of people, they all looked exactly the same.
Yeah, right? When they're just like
uniform, the bowl cut.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we have like a school of thousands of kids. Yay. Make them all the same.
Stuff like that I absolutely love, because like it's you know, they know what they're doing. It's a clear, like, you know, you're not gonna have hundreds of different designs of students or whatever. Like there's a lot of, you know, other students that have like unique designs, right? Like especially in the first arc, I guess you'll call it an arc. I don't know, when you
gotta
Ryuko,
go against all the club captains.
Yeah, all the club presidents or whatever, you know. But the people, like their underlings or whatever, the club members all look the same. It's a great, like, it's not a fourth wall break, but like I know what the studio is doing. Like, you know, they're just going along with it. It's nice, it's cheeky, you know, it's funny. Yeah. Are there any specific scenes or sequences that left a lasting impression on you?
It would have to be a very emotional scene for me.
Yeah?
Would have to be when Mako, she became president of the Fight Club, and she didn't want to give it up, so she had to fight Ryuko?
Yeah.
Maitoi. I'm gonna just go with that name, Maitoi. And Maitoi de-transformed and let Mako just beat her, and I was like, this is a very emotional scene, like, because she was like standing her ground because she knew who her friend truly was.
Yeah. And
it sucks that her friend had to like beat her almost to death for her friend to realize, like, why is everybody just letting me do this? And it was just emotional. It just showed how close they were in like oh my bad, it was like together for like 3 months at that time, how close they got within 3 months of being with each other.
Yeah, right?
That would be my favorite scene.
That was a really nice, touching episode, and it kind of sped up the process of like Ryuko's goal at the time to get and, like, you know, beat every single club member president or whatever to get their life fibers, and then eventually work her way up to the Elite Four and then Satsuki. Because again, I thought this was like gonna be I'm gonna compare it to Pokemon in the sense of Ash beats 8 gym leaders, then there's the Elite Four, and then there's the champion, right? That's the kind of structure that the show started out with. But when we got to that Elite Four final, when she was battling the sword guy, I forget his name.
Uzu, Sanogeyama? I can't pronounce it.
Sanogeyama?
Yep, Sanogeyama.
Yeah, so when she was fighting Sanogeyama, that fight got interrupted and by Nui and like plot exposition, and then we get further thrusted into like the overarching plot of like what is actually really going on. And I was very surprised that happened, and I was really hoping to get that final boss moment with Satsuki, because that's what I thought. And at the end, when Satsuki was explaining her plans of like, no, this is all an act to overthrow my mother, and I couldn't like afford to let anybody else know about what.
Giant spoiler.
Yeah, right. Couldn't let anybody else know about like what are my true intentions and stuff. She really did that, because a lot of animes, instead of doing that, instead of like just keeping everything away from the audience, a lot of animes will like cut to the villain's point of view and like they will explain their entire plot to like the side character or whatever, and then now the audience knows what's going on, and then the main character, the protagonist, needs to figure it out. But this anime didn't do that. It kept us, the audience, in the dark alongside Ryuko, because that's who we were following for this entire journey. Ryuko at first is the main protagonist, or at least it is shown that she is the main protagonist, but I feel like the main character here is Satsuki.
I don't know why, but I would disagree just because of the amount of screen time. But I've seen animes where the main protagonist is somebody else. One I would not mention because I don't want to spoil, and the other one would be Fairy Tail.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know if you ever seen Fairy Tail.
I've seen bits of it.
So you think the pink-haired guy would be the main protagonist in the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fire dude. No, he is not the main protagonist.
Oh.
No, it's Lucy. It's the blonde chick.
Oh, interesting.
So I can't like see how.
Kind of like.
She can be?
Yeah, kind of like Samurai Champloo, where like we think it's Mugen, but it's actually Fu who's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you just see so much of Mugen, you just automatically just start assuming.
Yeah.
But.
Well, the reason I say that is because the entire show is Satsuki planning and gathering all these resources, gathering this army, like training these high schoolers with Goku uniforms and stuff to eventually overthrow her mom. And like I said, when that plot twist of when Ryuko got introduced, that plot twist of like, you know what, Satsuki isn't doing this for her. At first, I thought she was. I thought Satsuki was just one of the generals for Ryuko and was just like trying to push her agenda or whatever. But no, all this time she was secretly plotting to overthrow her mom and to kill her. And that was a big surprise because of the fact that wasn't spoiled for the audience throughout the entirety of the show up until this point. And I say she's the main character because this is really her story, and Ryuko just like showed up, you know what I mean? And she's an integral part, you know, they're both the main protagonists, yes. But after this point, after knowing what happens, the perspective shifts for me because this is really Satsuki's fight all along, and Ryuko just comes in and helps because, you know, plot reasons. They're sisters. That was a nice surprise. That after the main plot twist of Satsuki betraying her mom, I saw that coming. But if that plot twist never happened, and then they would have revealed that they're actually sisters, I would have been like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, even more of like driving even further connection between them because they both have kamuis, you know, one is all red, one is all blue. Very similar to Samurai Champloo if I think about it. One has a more like refined demeanor, and like one is more disciplined, and the other one's like more like rambunctious and like, you know, wild or whatever, and red. And then further finding out that they're siblings, that's still cool. And I think they do a really good job at balancing all this stuff.
I will say I still think Ryuko is the main protagonist by the simple fact that we get more of her story of anything.
Yeah.
And whenever like she has to like go through something, we see it.
Yeah.
So we get to go to her background, her inner thoughts, her conversations with Dinkets. And so like you're sitting and watching her character development throughout the entire show, but you don't watch the other girl's character development.
You're right, that's a good point. But we see her develop a bit, but I think that's also just because she's playing a role of like this dictator. No, she's not playing it. That is her character, and she eventually learns thanks to Ryuko showing her a different way on how to do things. But she still, you know, changes.
Oh yes, she does. You like hear it from the Elite Four when she's talking to them, and they're like, "Oh, you give compliments now?"
Yeah.
When did you start doing this?
Yeah. And I'm just really glad that they didn't stay enemies, you know, like they're actually fighting for the same thing. They're both on the same side. Yeah, it's a lot to take in at first that they're your siblings and your mom abandoned you, filled you up with life fibers and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's a whole crazy, like, complicated family drama stuff. But I'm really happy that these characters didn't end up resenting each other and also had to fight. Because they totally could have done, like, Ryuko fighting Ryuji or whatever, the mom, and then having to fight Satsuki because she was, like, the final boss all along because she still wanted control. They could have done that. And a lot of other animes have done that as well. But the fact that they chose to like, no, they are actually cool with each other. They are sisters and they're trying to be sisters for each other. Further, like, makes me like how the show has gone.
A scene I also liked when they found out the whole family thing.
Yeah.
Is when Ryuko is wearing Junkets?
Junkets, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
And Satsuki is wearing Sinkets. And they're just like wearing the opposite kamuis against each other. I don't know why, but I just enjoy the different aspects of them being in two different uniforms and having to fight each other, and them realizing that like their uniforms are for them and they need to put their own uniforms back on.
Yeah, it kind of drives part of the themes and messages that the show portrays of, you know, empowerment and individuality. I think it kind of helps portray the journey of self-discovery for Ryuko and Satsuki, and like learning and for them to learn how to empower themselves, I guess, because Ryuko overcoming Junkets and the mind stitching from Ryoga. Why can I not remember her name now? I was saying it earlier. The mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mom like filled her head with like false memories and all that stuff. Like her breaking through that, it further drives the whole individuality part of like, we're not all cut from the same cloth and stuff like that. Does that make sense? I hope I said that right. I kind of jumbled that.
It made sense to me. I really hate that we couldn't see or hear Junkets. Like we could see him.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we couldn't hear Junkets and his thoughts and whatever he wanted and the way he was built, what he memorized. Like, it would have been nice to get both uniforms aspect. I get, like, the focus was not on him.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't made to go against the life fibers and all of that. But it just would have been, like, a nice addition. Because at least we would have known somebody's alive.
It would, yeah. Junkets is not a character, right? It's a living thing, but it's not a character. You're right. I would have liked to see a kamui, like if Junkets was like the complete opposite of Sinkets, in the sense of like he's more cynical and diabolical, and I think if we would have seen moments of like Junkets kind of trying to take over Satsuki in certain ways. I mean, we kind of get that with the game, Kill la Kill If, where it's just like a whole dream sequence where Junkets is taking over Satsuki's like mind or whatever in the dream, and we explore a different what if scenario of the story, where Satsuki becomes like overtaken by Junkets and the life fibers, and then Ryuko needs to step up or whatever. It would have been cool to see that. Yes, I agree, but I don't know if it would have spoiled the reveal of like, listen, Junkets. Like if Satsuki was like, listen, Junkets, I don't care what you want. This is what I want, you know? I don't know if that would have spoiled her ambitions or her motivations towards like what she actually wants. Does that make sense?
Yes, because she was more of a stern person, like the butler always said, or like the butler and the Elite Four told everybody. Once she made up her mind, that was it. So it was kind of pointless to have him talk, because if you ever try to suggest something, she would just sit there and stare into the distance, because she does not care for how he feels and what he wants.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Like Ryuko and Sinkets, they are friends and they communicate with each other, they relate to each other, and this and that. And that's their character dynamic. And the good opposite is with Satsuki and Junkets. Like Junkets is being forced to be worn by Satsuki, and because of her sheer will, Junkets can't take over her. So like it's more like, I'm taking control here. Shut up, you know, like you are mine, you belong to me. Whereas Sinkets and Ryuko has like a more friendly relationship.
I was very sad when he died.
Yes.
I like, it was such an honorable moment that he, like, in his last, like, I wouldn't say dying breath since he doesn't breathe. No.
His last moments, yes.
In his final threads, he chose to protect her and everything. And I was sad about that because I really liked their relationship, their friendship. Even though she was the only one who can hear him, it would have been great to like know that they could have kept their friendship forever on.
Yeah.
But like he also said, can't wear a sailor's outfit the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I guess it was a nice way of parting ways, and like consider the fact that the whole goal is to get rid of life fibers in total.
Yeah. And I think it kind of furthers again the point of like individuality. Like, wear whatever you want. Be whoever you are. Do what you want to do. You don't need to be conformed or confined to societal norms or whatever. Like, do whatever you want. Be yourself. Be unique. I think that's how I kind of see it.
She is now the only life fiber left on Earth. How do you think? How would you think what will happen after the show now? Now that everybody knows how dangerous life fibers are and they know how strong she is.
Well, that's a good question.
I like to think past when the show ends because I don't know why.
No, you're right.
Up to like...
Did you see the follow-up OVA episode?
No, I did not.
It's set 2 weeks after the final battle with Raggio and Ryuko, where Rei, the assistant to the mom, she uses leftover life fibers to create doppelgangers of Satsuki and the Elite Four, wearing Junkets, I think, in their original Goku uniforms, to disrupt the Academy's graduation ceremony and avenge the mom. But the clones are defeated while Satsuki convinces Rei to abandon her struggles as Ryuko uses the scissor blades to finish off Rei. She turns the Academy into like a monster type of deal. You know, using life fibers is freaking weird, man. And and after that, like, the school is shut down. The city is sinking and everyone leaves to live out normal lives.
May I ask, where did you see this OVA?
I didn't like see it. I saw like a summary video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you know how in the last episode we see Makan Shok and Ryuko like going on their little date or whatever, and they meet up with Satsuki and she has a haircut?
Yes.
That takes place between that like parts of the credits and like the final battle, you know? So 2 weeks.
I will go find that. If I don't find the actual video, I will also just send me what you found as well.
Okay.
If you can.
No problem. It's cool, you know, like a little bit extra, like a little extra nugget. But I know Ragu was talking like right before she killed herself that there are more life fibers out in the universe, and they will eventually find their way to Earth. And since Ryuko doesn't necessarily need a kamui to like still have her powers, she still has the scissor blades. So maybe, I don't know. That's a good question of like what else can they do?
They can still, like, if life fibers showed up, it's not like they haven't used life fibers once before. So
yeah,
they just probably take whatever scraps of whatever life fibers they kill and make a whole new kamui with it and be like, yay,
yeah,
we made it stronger. So it'll just repeat the process over and over. If they even tried to make more seasons, it would have been a drag on. But I just still like thinking like, oh, it happened a couple of days after, a couple months after type of thing.
Hopefully nothing. But that's not, of course that's not true. I mean, we haven't seen anything more of this show like since, right? Like since the game was like the latest thing.
I didn't know there was a game until you said something about it in the
chat. I tried the game out. I didn't play the entire game. I just played the demo because that's like the whole game. It's made by Arc System Works. It's a fighting game. It's a 3D fighting game in a 3D space. It's really cool. It's really fun.
Like Ruby.
I think so.
Have you played Ruby?
I haven't played it. No.
That game is not sadly free or have a demo.
Yeah,
but you can just look at clips of it. It's a 3-dimensional game, like you said, with a 3D platform, and it's a fighting game.
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy playing the demo. I was playing it over and over again, and I like the combat mechanics. It's fun. It's only $20. Before spending the money, I did some research on it. It's it's repetitive. It's the same It's just the fights, and the story doesn't matter. It's a dream sequence. It doesn't mean anything,
It's just a what if, like you said.
It's a what if, yeah, it's if. So, but it's cool that it's kind of extra content if you want more of Kill la Kill.
I definitely look into that.
Yeah, definitely. I also just wanted to mention, speaking of Goku uniforms and the kamuis, they're supposed to reflect different aspects of power dynamics, from personal empowerment to the corrupting influence of absolute power. So clearly the Goku uniforms are meant to be ranks, as a military, because we see the whole military aspect within the Goku uniforms designs, and just how the entire school thing was structured, because depending on how your student is ranked, it also determines how they live. It's a weird ass society.
I don't know if you remember, the sewing club president later describes all that, or no, was it Satsuki? Satsuki described all of that.
Yeah.
She was saying like how the male uniforms are based off the army and the
Yes.
female uniform is based off the navy.
Yeah.
And the way the school is ran the way it is because she wanted to be a more military like format setup. Not us realizing like, oh, a military set format. She's gonna start doing some raids.
Yeah.
But I did like that.
You didn't?
No, I said I did like that.
Oh, okay.
And the fact that the stars was the rank. And I thought it was going to go more than 3 stars. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think 3 stars was going to be the cap. But that just also, like, shows how strong the life fibers are. And for kamuis to be 100% life fiber, the 3 stars are 30%. That shows, like, the great and the power difference.
Yeah,
it helps you understand,
and that's what I mean about like absolute power. You know, like the kamuis have 100% life fibers, and as we saw with Ryuko, it can corrupt absolutely. Absolute power corrupts absolute, right? And I don't think that's something that was really touched upon enough. I think it was just like a one-off instance of Ryuko being corrupted by the kamui, by Senketsu. Like it's not because he was trying to; it's just because, you know, how she was feeling, how it reacted to the life fibers, and like made her into a giant monster, a bloody monster, like an actual monster. It freaks me out quite a bit, and I don't think the show like spent enough time like addressing that. I don't think, except for that episode.
Yeah, that's the only time we ever see what happens when somebody loses control. The only time we got close is when Satsuki was wearing Jinkits and she was in I forgot what they called it, but it was like over synchronization or something like that, and she had it in that form for too long, to the point where the sewing club dude, he had like a neutralization for the uniform, and that was the only way like to calm it down before it took over her.
So there's that constant threat of that with kamui, so that's interesting, I think.
But I do give it to her because she was keeping up with someone who is made of 100% life, who is a life fiber, and wearing 100% life fiber, and she's just a human wearing a kamui, and she was keeping up. I give it to her. That shows the amount of strength and like the mental fortitude she had to hold on to her resolve.
Yeah, and to further drive the notion of like embracing the lack of clothing and like, you know, don't be embarrassed by it, you know, like the show uses nudity as a symbol of liberation from societal norms and constraints, and while challenging the viewers to rethink their perceptions of modesty and freedom, you know, like it's deep. For a show that doesn't have a lot of layers, there are a lot of layers to this show.
Oh, one group we didn't talk about yet is Nudist Beach.
Oh, Nudist Beach.
Like, I can't tell you how, like, I wouldn't say they was insignificant in the show, but, like, it was just a nice thing, a nice difference, like a third-party group.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, the Rebel Alliance against the Empire, you know?
And I really enjoyed, like, watching their tomfoolery of, oh, yeah, we can beat life fibers while we're naked.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And, you know...
Mission clothing with nail guns, and it's going to work.
Yeah. And of course they're nudists because that, you know, don't wear clothes. You're fighting clothes, don't wear any clothes. That makes perfect sense.
Everybody else wearing clothes while fighting clothes, but they had like they were on the right track. I just don't think it was going the right way.
Yeah.
I didn't think being a nudist had to be the answer. And one of the Mako, or one of her point of views was absolutely amazing to me. When they was like, oh, the scientists made the nudist beach, in her head, it was like, oh, he only did it so he could see naked women.
Yeah.
And I sat there and I was like, that makes sense for him, since, like, you know, his wife really didn't show him any affection and he locked himself away in the lab.
Yeah.
Of course, he will have, like, want to see naked women, and what way to do that than with all your money come up with a group called Nudist Beach where you can, like, fight your enemy and get naked women.
Talk about fan service, huh? It's so silly.
You don't see women in it though. You see like 2 females in Nudist Beach.
True.
And the rest are males.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I absolutely love how like they went about censoring the nudity. Just like with sparkles of lights, you know? It's
oh yes. Oh, the teacher whenever he took off his shirt, it was just like,
why are his nipples purple?
glowing. Like, and downstairs is just more vibrant than ever. That could light a lighthouse for days.
I know. It is so silly. I mean, like, those are the ways how the show deals with like nudity in a silly comedic way, you know. But like I texted in the group chat earlier this week, when this show gets serious, it gets freaking serious, man. But like, and when it gets funny, it's hilarious. And like, you just gotta see past the nudity or, you know, whatever, the sexualizations and the fan service. If you like look past that, because it's only like the main reason why it's there, it's not only to prove the point that I made earlier, but it's also for comedic purposes. But if you look past that, this show gets pretty deep, and that kind of falls in again to the theme of the show, like kind of reshape your mind into how you watch a show, just because it's showing a lot of sexual innuendos and you know, a lot of tits and ass or whatever, right? Like, just because it's showing that doesn't degrade or doesn't downplay the actual messages and themes and just overall like awesomeness of what the show is actually trying to portray. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. What was another thing? Oh, so like the last episode, right? Matoi was falling out the sky and everything. Or just like before that, when she was still like taking all the life fibers she can get to put in to sink it. Like, everybody's like butt ass naked.
Everyone's naked and like nobody's batting an eye.
Like, not even you're just watching it and you're like, all right, we could go to the sky. And then like when she landed and they were all in a group, it took me a minute to be like, oh, they saved it. Wait, why the is everybody naked? Like, like exactly. My brain, like, it didn't click. And like, and when I did realize that everybody was naked, you can see that they don't show anything. Everybody's just a doll.
Yeah.
Like, it's
or like they use light to like cover, you know.
Or they didn't use light at one point either.
You're right.
They were just a baby doll. The only person who got nipples in the show was the teacher. The only person.
That's so true.
Because even the other males didn't have anything. The teacher was the only one who had nipples, and they shined for days. And the way clothes like always smoothly fell off his body in slow motion whenever he posed. You just see it's like his shirt, it's falling. It is falling. His pants are gone too. Got it. That's where we're going with this.
Yeah, no, that further drives that point. Like, we forgot, like, we know they're naked, but like we forgot like how weird it is to just see our anime characters naked, because we're not focusing on that. We're just focusing on like what's actually happening in the story and like on the screen. And like you said, like, wait a minute, they're all naked. Okay, but like, again, that's what the show is trying to convey, man. And I think that's great that like I agree. I forgot too that they were naked, and I thought it was just normal. Oh yeah, she's taking all their clothes, all their Goku uniforms, Junkets, and all of them to power up and to become whatever the final form was. And I thought that was cool as hell, you know? And I didn't think anything else of it until like after the fact.
Yeah, when everything's done resolved and you just actually like just sitting there and you're just looking, and it just clicks after like looking at it for longer than 5 seconds. But other than that, and this is where like the fan service is not meant to be fan service. It's part of the plot. It's there for a reason. They're not just doing it just because it was, well, kind of, but like they threw it into the plot and made it fit.
Yeah, this is a great show, man. I am super happy that I finally like sat down and watched it. There are quite a few things that weirded me out a lot, especially when it has to do with Ryuko and Satsuki. Like when Satsuki was kept prisoner, I really hated do I want to say this? Yeah, like, you know, warning, I guess. I really hate the mother when she was caressing her child. Yeah, like the
such weird way, and then put her fingers in places that shouldn't be.
No,
yeah, I was disturbed for that too.
There was so
that was like the only time the show went too far.
100%. Like that type of stuff did not need to be shown. Like, you're already pushing a lot of boundaries with the nudity and the skimpiness, but you did not need to show a mom molesting her child. Yeah, violating her child. Like that's not cool. That's when I was like, okay, I hope like we don't get more of this, and we didn't. That only happened like 2 times.
Yeah.
But eesh.
You're right. I sat there and watched that scene, and I was like, this is probably why I'm glad I forgot this scene.
Yeah.
It was disturbing on the fact that one, it's happening, and two, it's her mother of all people.
Right? It's looking past that and everything else.
15 seconds of an entire season.
Yeah, I know. It's still weird that it happened to begin with, but I'm not gonna knock the entire show just because of those instances. But I do just want to address it's messed up, man. It's too far.
I've seen some other animes that have gone too far.
Yeah.
I will recommend you one. If how to describe it. It's the first episode. It's literally just the first episode, and then you get past the first episode, and you're like, wow, this show's a banger. But if anybody ever recommends you this outside of me, they might aim to hurt you. It's called Goblin Slayer.
I seen it. Yep, I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I do get the purpose of the first episode for that. It was literally just to show you how bad goblins can be. Oh. That's what that scene was starting to feel like I was watching.
Yeah, and I'm glad it wasn't that.
Other than that, I have my favorite weapons. I totally forgot about the scissors. I love the scissors.
Yeah.
I have not found the scissors anywhere. I don't know if you know anything about me. I don't like ordering stuff. I know. Will if I have to, but I don't like ordering stuff. When I get something, I want to get it right there in person. If I can't find it there, then I just won't get it. I won't spend my money. And I have yet to find. I went to an anime convention.
Yeah.
And I had to choose between the scissors or a scythe from Soul Eater, and it was very hard to choose. When I tell you, I was sitting at the table for 35 minutes. It was I can get a half of the scissors, or I can get the scythe, because both of them you will never go around and
so it wasn't both scissors or both scissor blades. It was just the one.
No, it was just the one. And that was a deciding factor for me.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? It's just one scissor blade. I get the scythe for today.
Yeah, I feel that. If it was both scissor blades, it was the scissor, no question.
It still would have been a question for me. I'm not gonna lie. I really, as you know, I like collecting weapons from animes. I can't explain why I like it.
They're cool, man.
Nice to have them.
That's it.
Just you go to some fancy person's house, they got weapons around their house. Yay them.
Yeah.
Come to my house, I got colorful stuff on the wall. All unrealistic weapons. And I was like, for me it's a question, because I already got swords, and technically the scissors are considered swords.
Yeah.
So it would have been the scissors or
a scythe.
The scythe. But another deciding factor, I didn't mention this, I like this in the show as well. The scissors have an extending form.
Yes. Decapitation mode.
Decapitation mode, yes. And I really loved that. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Why is it such an aggressive name when we're not decapitating people? But I accept. And the scissors, they were just obviously, go to a convention, they're not going to really sell you too many real weapons.
Yeah.
The scissors didn't even unfold or anything. They were just a foam product. And I was like, minus points again.
Yeah.
So no second half, no unfold. We're not going to do this today.
Fair enough. No, I get that.
But I love that in the anime that they have the scissors. I want to know why the scissors change colors. Did they change it? Did you realize it was red when the doctor held it, and then it was purple when the girl held it, and then when she got the scissors back, Ryuko, they were red again. And it was just why are we doing this? I was wondering, are they painting it constantly? Is that what we do now?
Well, since Nui is also made out of life fibers, maybe, and the scissors are also ultra hardened life fibers or whatever, maybe it just matches the user.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, so now we're synchronizing with our weapons and our uniform. Is that what you're saying?
I guess. Did we ever see Satsuki hold? Game. Did we ever see Satsuki hold the scissor blades?
Nope, she never touched the scissors because she got her own sword.
Maybe if she did, it would have turned blue.
That would be a deciding factor. That would have given it up. They just didn't give us that
changed colors.
Yeah.
Foam scissor blades change colors.
But yes, if I ever get the scissors, I do want to get the scissors that extend.
Hell yeah.
There's no way I'm going to get the scissors and it doesn't unfold. That ruins it for me. Like, yes, like giant scissors, who y'all, yay me.
Yeah.
But if I wanted giant scissors, I'll go win the Nobel Peace Prize and go cut a ribbon or something.
Yeah, man. So do you have any final thoughts about the show?
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
I do get the fan service would be hard for some people to do, especially if you're not really into anime, and fan service makes some people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I promise you can get past it. This is one of those fan service where it's not there for fan service reasons.
Yeah.
But if I had to rate this anime at all, the animes I watched when I first started, it will probably be a good 7 to 8 out of 10.
Okay. Wow. I was expecting higher.
You expecting higher? When I started anime, I went into a hole.
Fair.
So I'm also comparing it to I know a lot of people hate this one, but Soul Eater.
Good show.
Yes, Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just
the first half.
Yeah, the first half of season 1. We're not gonna talk about Offenheim.
Nope.
Gun Gale. Just Ironclad.
Doesn't exist.
Ironclad, Sword Art Online. Obviously, I was watching Naruto. I was getting into that.
Yeah.
So it's just a bunch of those, and I compare a 24 episode anime to those. It's kind of hard, but it's still up there on the list because it was good and it didn't disappoint me.
Yeah, I get that. I would rate it 8 to 9, just because, again, looking past the fan service thing, that's the main barrier you gotta get through, right? But as the show intends the audience to think differently and to have a different mindset about how you perceive certain things, and just how the characters in the show do the same thing. I like that the show not only shows you the characters within learning these types of lessons, but it kind of teaches you that lesson too subconsciously, because I didn't realize that until I got further along, where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it's fine. It's expected. I know, I'm aware that other people won't like it, like you said. But I got through that hump, and I think it was still around the same time Ryuko got through that hump of just fully embracing this, and I guess in some way that resonated with me. You're right, don't even worry about that, because a lot of other animes have weird stuff too, there's a lot of weird bits, and sexual or not, it's weird. This is no different. Get through that and you have a very deep and compelling story. And we spoiled it a bit, we didn't talk in depth exactly what happens, we spoiled the part where Satsuki is trying to overthrow Ragyu, and that Satsuki and Ryuko are sisters, and for all those reasons on how that happened, we don't need to talk about it, because if you clicked on this episode, we're going to assume you watched the show and you're a fan, right? But
hopefully.
Yeah, right. But if you're not a fan, and regardless of spoilers, and I still highly recommend anybody to watch this show. Studio Trigger, again, this is their first project that they've done. Knowing that this is their first original anime that they've done, and seeing that and learning how prolific Studio Trigger is nowadays, that's crazy to me. I absolutely love how this is a 2010s anime that looks like a 90s shonen. It pays tribute to all that stuff. We have the magical girl sequences. It pays tribute to key shonen animes from back in the day. The art style is amazing. I love the contrasting colors between Ryuko and Satsuki and everything else. I love how
about mother's hair.
The mom, oh my god, the design of her hair, it's weird, but it's cool. It's visually stunning. It's very unique. The designs, you can instantly recognize certain characters and certain silhouettes, of course. And just the world building is very intricate and detailed, and there's a lot of great things about this, but take it with a grain of salt. Alright, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Razzle Dazzle Show. Be sure to let us know what you think about this episode somewhere on the internet. Follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to rate us 5 stars and leave a comment down below. We'll catch you on the next one.